This is Out Loud and Laughing.
Today's episode is about envy.
Green. Green with envy. I'm with it. I'm living it. I love it. Like, what do you mean, though?
Like when your ex's new boyfriend has better lashes than you?
That's a thing. They have, like, lash bars, Brian. Do you know this?
It is a thing,
Or-
especially in the gay world now.
Okay, how about this one? Or, like, when you're, like, at brunch and, like, someone else at, like, another table's mimosa tower arrives first and you're like, well, or for me, their orange juice arrives first.
Envy. Let's get into it.
Let's dig in.
I love it. So we've talked about greed. Now we're going into envy, which is actually really exciting because I feel like the way we've been talking about this, John, is the what are they? The deadly seven deadly sins. And obviously the way it's been portrayed for so long is very dark and very like deep. And for our listeners, I like that we take it in a different direction. They don't have to be so dark and deep.
You know, Brian, I have to tell you, they don't have to be so dark and deep, and this will actually be our third kind of one because we did greed, right? This will be envy. But if we get like a list of the seven deadly sins, which I think is a great thing that we should probably list right now, I'm going to tell you them. The first one we already did, pride. Seven deadly sins from the Christian moral teachings, which whatever. Pride, envy, wrath or anger, sloth or laziness, greed, lust, and gluttony. So we should just get through all of them, but I love focusing on envy today.
I love envy.
But let's make it funny.
Let's talk
let's
about
make it
it.
funny.
Well, it's easy to make it funny, John, because we are funny, at least to ourselves.
No, we're hysterical.
What? Okay, so I think one of the biggest things about envy is that, and I think if you look at it through the seven deadly sins, it is pretty dark.
Yes.
Right? But I actually, when I was thinking about this, I was like, there's envy and there's jealousy.
They are different.
They are different, but I actually find envy to be a little bit lighter than jealousy.
Yes.
Is that weird?
No, it's true though. The difference between envy and jealousy it's like looking outward and inward, right? So envy is like you want something someone else has, whereas jealousy is like you're afraid of losing something you already have to somebody else. And that can make you do really ugly things. Whereas like, you can be envious of somebody's nice car as you're driving on the road, but like you're not going to want to run them off the fucking end of the edge of the cliff.
Yeah, like you think about in our like early 20s when some of our friends were starting to get like engaged before even you and I were like having relationships, and they would like a girlfriend would get engaged and she'd be like, "Oh, he's going to be a doctor." And we're all just like, "That's amazing. I'm so happy for you." But a part of us was like, "Fuck that. I'm envious. I want a doctor." You know?
No, totally. Envy is like desire, whereas jealousy is like fear. And I think fear-based behavior can make us do really ugly things. But
I agree. What do you have on your list for envy?
Oh, okay. So for me, things like body envy, travel envy, being envious of like another couple, like you were just saying, I think is really interesting.
Let's go into those. Let's do body envy.
Let's do body envy. I want to put a big over arc on this because it's this idea of, it's funny they say envy is all about being green, but like thinking about the grass being always greener, talking about body envy. You and I have both been on a journey of figuring out and redefining our own bodies through the gym and through our wellness. It's funny because regardless of how much work I do, and I'm interested to hear your take, I still have envy of other people's bodies.
Yes, 100%, because I think let's backtrack though. So at one point, you and I were overweight.
I was obese.
And you were obese. I was being polite. And at some point, like you were looking at not even necessarily people with like six packs, but just people who were of healthier form. So like walk me through a little bit of like, maybe not the dark stuff too, because I'm sure there's plenty of dark stuff, but like some of the light when you were like, "Oh God, I wish I could fit into that shirt," type of thing.
That's exactly it. You nailed it on the head. Basically, like it's changed, right? Like the goalposts have changed. When I was completely overweight, I used to envy people who could fit into a pair of pants comfortably. And then as I continued to shed weight, I was envious of people whose clothes looked, better on them, full outfits. It wasn't so much just about being comfortable comfortable in clothes. It was now looking good in clothes, and then it became about looking good out of clothes. And so I think I think
Mm-hmm.
it's a very top level journey, and I don't think we really need to go too far into it. But it's funny how the goalposts change with envy.
It does. When I think about envy, and this is my example that I was like, when I was
Yeah,
taking notes, I'm like, when was I envious of people's bodies? Because like I definitely look at like six packs and stuff, and I'm like, God, I wish. But we were all locked down in COVID for 3 to 6 months. Some people came out of COVID healthy, amazing, six pack, so great. I came out of COVID 30 pounds heavier. That was envy because I'm like, how did you manage to do 3 to 6 months and actually lose weight or stay, even just stay the same weight, right? Where some of us just like gave up
you
completely.
ready for the mic drop moment?
Might drop it
The people who came out looking better probably aren't envious of anybody else.
because they were skinny.
Oh, just because I think it's like what we learned from like Kai or from Sam about on our pod, mindfulness and wellness together. That it starts with what's in the head. I know when I was going through when I
Totally.
was going through COVID, I was not happy where I was. I wasn't happy in my life. So I just started making pasta and bread like everybody else on TikTok, and it showed.
Who doesn't love
Up,
sourdough?
girl.
Although I didn't do the sourdough thing. I was not envious of anyone that was doing
No, I didn't
sourdough.
do sourdough. I did like the cooking it in your Dutch oven, like cooking it in your Le Creuset in the oven, like the type,
Yeah.
we had friends who did it online. I know you know. Um,
All I know is I came out of COVID with two new chins and a crippling addiction to
my
TikTok
nipple,
because that's when TikTok started to go
my
crazy.
nipples met my belly button during COVID. It was cute. Yeah,
Oh, well, that's a little
it
fun
looked like
date.
Buddha just curled over. Yeah.
That's almost like a threesome if both nipples met your belly button at the same
I mean, it
time,
was
you
it
know?
was the Bermuda Triangle of sorts.
You were like an abuela with titties hanging down to her
I really,
knees.
really was like Abuela. I was channeling her body before she channeled her body to the Lord.
And I'm not envious of this.
Oh, and I am not, and I am no longer envious. I am so now happy of where my body is. Thank you, Abuela.
Thank you, abuela, for keeping my titties in
Love
check.
you.
What else? You said travel envy.
Travel envy, and I think maybe we could explode this a little bit bigger. Like maybe not so much travel
I love a good
envy. I love
explosion.
like explode all over my face, please. Or how about this?
Right?
Explode all over my Facebook. Like people's lives on social
Oh.
media, right? Like we're envious of it, and like travel is included in that lifestyle. But what is it? What is it really?
I don't know. I was gonna say explode all over my face while traveling,
Well,
but I like the Facebook angle. But I also agree. I think there's there's this level because I had this written down too. Is social media has driven envy to the max, right? Because historically, you would wait till your friend got their pictures developed, then brought them to you, then showed them. You're now seeing things in the moment when it's happening. And so in your moment, you're like, I'm literally at my computer doing work right now, and this person just posted that they're in Mykonos on a yacht. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit of envy towards that and feel a certain way, you know?
it's almost also a way that in which it's stacked in your feed as well, where like that one person
Yes.
who like is on that yacht in Mykonos, like for the past 6 years, has been posting about kitty litter. But like in your feed, it's like that friend's in Mykonos, another friend is, like climbing the Grand Canyon or hiking the Grand Canyon, and suddenly it starts to look like you're missing out on everything, right? Instead of these people who have felt that way for so long until they've had this one opportunity, it's just not yours yet.
John, the fucking
The
algorithm. You
algorithm.
are so right. Because once, like, let's say your friend posts about a Mykonos yacht and you click on it. Why is it all of a sudden my whole entire feed is people on yachts and not one picture includes me? And the algorithm sucks you into it. Like, if you look at my algorithm right now, it's all shirtless men. Say what you want to say about that. But the algorithm understands you and then just goes hard,
Yeah,
you
it
know?
really, really does. I'm really now concerned because my algorithm, I I just booked a trip to Mykonos just now.
Actually, my Instagram did it for
Yeah.
me.
Buy now, one click. Hey,
Yeah.
Alexa, buy me a trip to Mykonos.
Yeah, I'm never envious anymore because my phone just takes care of it for me. I'm a lot poorer,
Yeah, yeah.
but
You know who's not envious? My bank account, or who is more
yeah.
envious? Actually, my bank account. I don't know how that goes, but um, But no, travel
That's
envy.
so
And I
okay.
do. I get it too, though. Like, I think this is also important to be honest with ourselves and recognize that a lot of the reason why they're called the seven deadly sins is because, in my opinion, things like envy are just innate in us. If they drive desire,
Mm,
it drives us to be better, work harder, like take a little bit look inward as to where we are on our journey to like get to those places, Mykonos, the yacht on Mykonos, or the hiking trail in the Grand Canyon. Um, it's it's I lost my yeah.
I agree.
Yep. Yeah.
I agree.
You
What
know where I was
about
going. I wasn't lost. You know where I was going.
I know where you were going. What about like when it comes to relationships? And I would love your take on this because I think we've talked about this before, but I think there's envy on both of our sides, right? There might be envy on your side that I'm married with kids, and I have envy that you're still single and you're able to like enjoy life and not be tied down by so much responsibility. You have it, but you know what I'm saying. So like I wonder what the dynamic is there with envy and people to your earlier point, the grass is not always greener on the other side, and like you and I can talk about the pros and cons of being on each side. But there's still envy. And that's not a jealousy thing. I think it's just a little bit of like envy. Like, oh, okay, that's kind of
Well,
nice,
this definitely validates that envy is just innate, right? And I think what's really interesting from where I sit right now is that as I pursue new relationship and sort of like pursue the second chance, right? Essentially,
Mm-hmm.
I can recall back to like feeling trapped in a relationship. I can recall back to like knowing what it means to forfeit everything to be in a relationship versus what it should be, which
Yeah.
is to, and so like I get this opportunity now to like look back and forth. You're where you sit, it's almost as if like you can be envious. And I'm envious of you too, though. And you're so right, right? It goes both ways. I guess what I'm trying to say
Yeah.
here, though, that is that like where I'm sitting right now is a unique opportunity because I get to weigh and compare, so that I don't get envious in the future. So I can create a relationship that old me was envious of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I
There's a
agree.
lot in there. That's
There's a lot in there. What about switching gears a little
let's do
bit
it.
on envy when it comes to like work, like career and success, right? Like I think again, back to the whole social media thing. We are on LinkedIn. You see this person got this new job, like a dream job, and you're like, I'm envy that I would love to work at that company or have that job title or have that level of responsibility. There's a certain level of envy when it comes to the workplace because there's also like I work with my peer and they're getting promoted or getting a raise and I'm not. Like envy is definitely in the workplace, right?
I mean, I still am trying to reconcile why Diamond and Ruth get the center pole on Friday nights. I've been there for years. I'm envious, I am pissed, and it's getting real. I want to be
It's less tips.
less tips. I mean, I'm only pulling 1,200. I used to pull 3K a night. No, you're so right. And it's I think you and I are very lucky that we get to have careers which we worked hard and we enjoy, right? I don't know. Work is work. Sometimes like
Mm-hmm.
commitment is commitment. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a push for you to show up, but um, uh, sometimes this podcast, is a little bit of a is a for both of us. It's a challenge for us to find the time
Yeah.
inside of our busy lives to keep it going. And so, but we look at other podcasts and we're like, we can go there, and then like that, maybe that
Mm-hmm.
little bit of envy or that little bit drives the desire. It's,
Yeah.
it's, it's all sort of connected. And regardless of what it is, bodies, travel, Facebook feeds, our lives, it's all about where you sit. And I think it's all about how I think it's about being grateful for what you have, right? So that you don't like turn envy into something like jealousy, because I think that they can morph if you're not careful.
I think you bring up a really interesting point because envy and jealousy can take a turn for the worst. But I think what you're saying, and I'm going to build on it, is that it's human nature to have envy, right? That's natural. Like you have envy towards you want to go on that trip. You have envy because you want that job. I think it's if you turn that envy into drive and persistent, that's when it's beautiful, right? Because you're not envious that I'm just jealous that they have it. I'm envious that they have it. I don't care. I'm not going to go after it myself. Then that starts to put you in a darker place. But if you're saying, okay, cool, that's something that I can actually drive towards, to your point, an example in podcast, I think that's been a great example. You and I have just been doing our thing, but we look at others in the space and we're like, cool, let's try and get to that point. Let's try and get to that point. We're not turning it into like pure envy. We're saying, great, let's use that as an opportunity to drive and build ourselves up. So I think taking envy and making it even to more of a positive and taking the best of what we're seeing other people do to make our lives better is actually kind of a beautiful thing, John.
It's such a beautiful thing. And I was also as you sort of were running through that, I thought to myself how if we're looking at ourselves and how we're affected by jealousy and envy, like how it feels to
Yeah.
feel that, how it would how it would look on the other side of the other person, the person that you are jealous of or envious of. And what came to mind was somebody that you're envious of, you would say, "Wow, I'm really envious of your great physique," right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that person would feel good. Whereas you say something negative or about being jealous of, like something, I think it would sound something like this maybe. Oh, you're just in shape because you work outside. Your job is more physical. I sit at a desk all day. Like you say something stupid like that out of defensiveness because you don't take accountability for yourself and you're jealous of this other person for having a good physique. Suddenly they feel
Yes.
defensive. They feel wronged.
Mm-hmm.
They feel sort of shamed and like put in a corner. So it's also like not so much about how jealousy and envy makes us feel. I think it's important to also recognize how those feelings make others feel as well, because you can
100%.
laugh off something like envious, not so much with something like
Yes.
jealousy.
What if we took this in a turn? Because we really dove deep into envy and our gay community,
Ooh,
right?
interesting.
This isn't dark at all. I think one of the biggest things that I have envy for in the gay community is when a gay fucker walks by me and has better hair than me.
Ryan, it's a thing.
It's like beautifully swaffed. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
All the angles are right. They look good 180 degrees. Like you are like looking at this and you're like, damn. And I'm sitting here with a hat on because I couldn't get hairs to stick down.
Brian, it's why I date men with no hair.
You like balds? Mm-hmm.
Literally, the guy that I'm dating right now, bald. Yeah,
Bald.
I mean that way I'm always the one in the relationship with nice hair. You just can't you can't argue no
Well,
hair versus hair.
I was gonna say at that point you're the only one with
Right,
hair.
right.
So that's I mean the same thing can be also true for like really good skin. Right? And all of us gays have good skin routines. But you definitely notice the ones that just have better skin. But then that's the fallacy of our like community. Falsy.
Fallacy.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Is some of it's just makeup now in our community.
Man makeup, it's a thing. But I think like skincare as opposed to hair. I think hair is a really good example. I disagree with skincare because I think everybody's like who everybody who's vain, women and men
Yeah.
are more skincare. I think what's a really interesting twist to follow your lead on envy in the gay
Mm,
community is uh effeminate gays who are more envious of masculine gays for them feeling like they have another shield to hide behind and not being so
yeah.
vulnerable and out all the time.
Mm, yeah. I think that's interesting. So you think like someone who's more like quote unquote femme, power bottom, has envy towards like dom
I
top?
think it depends on where they are in their journey and how they accept themselves and how comfortable they are in their own skin. But in a
Mm-hmm.
heteronormative culture, if you aren't comfortable being an effeminate man in this culture, I can see very, very easily how somebody could be envious or possibly
Yeah.
jealous to that degree of somebody who doesn't have to deal with sort of that level of scrutiny every single day of being
Yes.
called gay.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think the last thing I wanted to end
Yeah.
on was more around envy in our community around fashion. And I think what I have envy for is the confidence that other people have to wear things that are not quote unquote like normal t-shirt jeans, you
Yep.
know? Like bright colors, different cuts, stuff like that. Because people in our community do take chances. I think you are more chances take more chances on clothes than I do. But even then, you aren't the craziest of like clothing, like fashion couture, you know. So I don't know. I think this was envy there in style.
That, and then also not only just in the fashions, but more so also in the shapes and the garment
Mm,
selections, like
exactly.
dresses,
Yeah.
skirts versus like hosiery and jackets, long jackets, short jackets, crop jacket, like women and like just outside of, again, more of a yeah, a masculine driven attire, which is going to be very uh, you know what
Totally.
I'm trying to say. Um, I feel like, sometimes I do enjoy wearing like a cape or something flowy at the house, a robe for that reason, because like it just makes me feel like I'm not in confinement of
Yes.
pants and a shirt or whatever that orientation looks like. But
Yeah.
but I'm gonna
Well,
wear a thong when I'm done recording this because I'm just feeling a
absolutely.
little flossy today.
As you should.
As I
And
should.
listen, before we head out, I just want to make sure that everyone knows that John is envious of me because I'm getting on a flight in a little bit to go to Paris.
Oh, bon sweet. No, I'm actually jealous. You better make that plane take a look around for any special packages from me. No, I'm just kidding. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir,
God, I
croissant,
hope nothing
oui
happens.
oui.
Love you.
Love you,
Bye.
bye.
This was Out Loud and Laughing.
We're available everywhere you get your podcasts: Spotify, Apple, YouTube, iHeart, or wherever.